Okay, guys, I want to do a quick overview of our icon project. It was offered up before we left school as extra credit, but now it's going to be offered up as a mandatory project because we haven't quite learned as many editing skills in Photoshop as we possibly can, and this is a lot of fun. And I have given you on the slide, I duplicated it and I put it behind. If you guys can look and see when we come back next week on March 24th, we have a lot of to-dos just to make sure that we've uploaded a new digital journal. We've got one up. Step 2 is get Adobe. Step 3 is get Zoom. And then during studio time this week, you have a couple things due. You have photojournalism, so make sure you look at that. And then this you can work on. So if you follow the directions step by step, you'll see that it says find and download a high-res photo. Then locate a picture of yourself, take a selfie if you have to, upload it from your phone to Google Drive, and then it gives you the physical directions, like actually, so that way if you're a reading kind of person, this will work really well for you. But I'm going to do a really super quick tutorial. So I'm going to launch Photoshop really quick. The first thing you want to do is you want to use the picture of yourself first because we're going to drag the icon on top of that. So I'm going to go File, I'm going to open, and I've saved to my desktop a photo of myself that I think will work sufficiently. So on my desktop, let's see, I know it's here somewhere. There it is. Okay, and that will open first. And usually I click and drag things in from desktop, but you can see that my computer screen's really small, so we have to do what we have to do. All right, I'm going to unlock the background for editing purposes by double-clicking the layer and then hit Enter. And then I'm going to place on top of it, I'm going to go File, all right, and then I'm going to go ahead and I want to go ahead and probably open up the other one. Now we can just click it and drag it on top, or in this case, what you can also do if you pull the tab away by left clicking the tab, then you can just always like drag that over and see how it shows up like that. And I'm gonna kind of try to center Jennifer over me, and notice that I can move her in layer 1. But I can't do any scaling. So remember, your scaling is to go Edit, Transform, Scale. All right, and in Photoshop now we don't have to hold the Shift key. And I'm gonna I want to make sure that I get, actually, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna scale my picture down smaller to fit that one. So I think that looks about right. I'm gonna hit Return. And then in what it says in the directions to do is to make the opacity of this layer a little bit lower so you can see what's going on underneath it. So remember, your opacity is how saturated, how much of the image you can see. So I'm going to try for, I think the tutorial says about 50% on the to-do, excuse me, on the instruction list. And I can see she's up there, and I'm going to go ahead and click on my image, and I'm going to move me just so my eyes line up, and then I can notice my mouth's off, my nose is off, so I still have to scale it a little bit. So again, Edit, Transform, Scale, and then we can go ahead and try to line up the face as best as possible. Just for right now, just kind of don't be a perfectionist, because you won't know until you start working with this a little bit more. All right, so that looks like it's going to line up with her eyes almost perfectly. I'm going to hit Enter. And then I'm going to click back on layer 1, the Jennifer Aniston photo, and I'm going to make it completely visible again. And if this bothers you down here, you could always just, we can always clip it out by cropping it right there. We don't want to cut out Brad. All right, and here we go. Everything's a little bit tidy again. All right, good enough. Now, what I want you to do is make sure you're on the layer you want to be on. We want to erase out the facial features of your icon. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more so we can see what we're doing. And then I'm going to use the eraser tool. Now, when you click on the eraser tool, you'll see up here is the size of it. And you notice when I'm over her, that's a very small brush. So I'm going to, don't go too big or too small, okay? And in this case, we want to definitely erase out the facial features Just the nose, the eyes, the mouth. Do not go all the way around the face. Do not erase the whole face completely. Do not, do not, do not. Start off with a pretty firm brush and a decent size, and make sure the opacity is 100%. And then I'm going to go ahead and erase out. There's one eye, a little bit of eyeball or eyebrow, and then there's the other eye. Don't go too close. Do not cut off hair. All right, and then maybe through the here and the nose. Ooh, our skin colors are completely different. And then I'm going to go through and just get the mouth. Oh yeah, my face is off a little bit. I need to make my face bigger. Now, I've got all this erased out, but I want to now blend. Now, anybody who's put on any powder or foundation of that sort, contouring, will know what I'm talking about. You need to make your brush try maybe starting off at 30% opacity, and it has to be soft, 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 0% hardness, soft. Now watch this. I'm going to slowly like blend around here to kind of blend out my skin with Jennifer's skin. All right, and I want to get that so you can't see. And I'm just left clicking and dragging, and I'm slowly blending out Jennifer's face, slowly around the hard erase areas, so it's not so obvious that, hi, I'm an eraser, I erase these features. If you don't do this slowly and carefully, your results will be yucky, and I'll make you redo it again. All right, so I'm slowly blending out. Now, if you have to zoom in closer to make your brush smaller to really get by the hair, you can go ahead and do that. What might help with the eraser tool is if you go ahead and make it smaller, and you can make the brush by picking at those little round handles. You can make the brush more flat, and then you'll see I can get right up at Jennifer's eyebrows right there, but I don't want to erase the hair, so be careful. Let's come over here. Let's make the brush tilt the other way. And we get that little bit of eyebrow because that's bad. And then I'm going to zoom out again. And then I'm going to make my brush round again. So keep playing with the brush size and the brush softness and the brush opacity. But the point is that now that we've got this nice soft little blend, I still need to do a little bit more. I'm going to take the opacity down even more because I want to barely blend out the forehead. You see how it's slowly gradiently blending out? And then maybe the cheeks out here. And I'm going to make my face, let's see, I'm going to turn off my face and see where we're at. Yeah, see, I'm almost too close to the hair, so be really careful. And you can use this when you turn off the layer of your photo. You can really see where you need to maybe transition where you erased really firmly to where the blend is, because you want this to look really natural. And the only way you're going to do this is to, again, play with a soft brush and different opacities. And really, it's better to go slow and do it right than make it look like it. If it looks like it's scissors and cut and paste, I'm not going to be happy with you. So I'm blending it very carefully, and then down here in the chin area a little bit more, and then her dimples, I don't have dimples like that, so I'm going to slowly blend out a little bit more of that dimple. But I think I'm almost done. It looks pretty smooth from here. I could probably take more time, but I've only got 15 minutes on Screencastify, so here we go. So I'm going to turn back on my layer, and my face, it looks too small, so I'm going to click on my layer, and again, let's transform, edit, transform, scale, and we're going to try scaling it maybe up a little bit and move it in till it looks where the face looks right. The nose should always hit halfway through your face. So if this is the top of the head and that's the bottom of the chin, the nose is always going to be in the direct center. All right, and I'm going to hit return. Now I've got this great edit, right? The great blending and everything, but my skin color, woof, is too pink. It's kind of a cold pink, and her skin is like this neutral brown. It's not super orangey. It's a nice natural tan, but I need to adjust that. So if you go into your image adjustments, I want you to go try photo filter first. All right, so in photo filter, I can go ahead, I'm going to try warming up. My skin's really pink and I want it more brown. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of orange, and I'm going to see if that helps a little bit. Don't go too much, or that's what you're going to get. You're going to get cheese puff. All right, and then But that's still, it's a little bit warmer, but her skin's a little bit brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of sepia, which has this neutral brown color to it. And then I'm gonna try a little bit more. Aha. And then you can see, oof, that was too much. I'm gonna put the filter on. Oof, too much. I look green. Ah, there we go. And then hit OK. And then if we zoom out now, you can see it looks a little bit more natural. And you can take time finding other ways to edit this and make it a little bit more natural. But then we go File, Save As. You can use any tools you want, you guys. I want you guys to name this last name, first initial, underscore iconic. Save it as both a PSD and a JPEG so I can see that you have your layers in there. And that's good. And a couple of tips. You could always try doing the color replacement tool or the brush tool, but then it might start looking a little bit airbrushy. So let me show you real quick. If I, ooh, goodness. If I go ahead and let's see, I chose the color from off of her skin. Usually in the oranges, you can get right around here a lot of great skin colors, whether it's more of the nice darker chocolatey browns through here. But what this is going to do is we can either use, let's see, the paintbrush on top of our photo and change the brush size up here. Start off really light, normal mode. You can see I can start painting, but look at how it's going to be really speckled and really nasty if you're not careful with it. So I would make sure that your brush is 0% hard and that you're at a really super low opacity. And then just like you'd be brushing powder on someone's face, let's make it a little bit bigger. Just as if you're going to be, there we go. I'm kind of darkening. Do you see how I'm transitioning my bright skin? And I'm putting a little bit of her brown on it, but it starts looking, when you paint over people's skin, it starts looking too airbrushed, so you have to be really, really careful about that. And yeah, I think it's looking a little bit more natural. I think that looks like it could be me. Anyways, so that's it, you guys. I hope this tutorial helped. This is going to be due in about a week, so make sure you get on this right away. Okay, bye.